So what's going on guys, Kyle here. Today's video, we're finally going to be taking a look at a GTX 1080. So of course we have one of the first non-Founder Edition cards released. We have today guys, the MSI Gaming X. I can't wait to unbox this and take a look at it. So no further ado, let's get on with it. Okay, so this guys is MSI's GTX 1080. This is their Gaming X version. Now there's actually two versions of this graphics card. There's the Gaming X, what we have here today. Then there's the Gaming Z. Now just for reference, the Gaming Z, it actually looks identical to this, but it just has a higher overclocking card, and I believe it has a different backplate. That's it. Of course, we've got the Gaming X, and actually this MSI price is around about £629 here in the UK. I actually did pay more for this though, but of course, first come, first served, I guess. So add that little premium on. But of course, look at the front of the box itself. There's nothing new here. We've pretty much seen it before. On the back of the box, again, pretty much what you've seen before, which tells you a bit about the card it's showing. Of course, it's got their new Twin Throzer 6. It's very similar design to the Twin Throzer 5, to be honest, and hopefully they actually added some nice future updates to it, so it actually performs better. I believe this card's got overclocked pretty damn good, so hopefully that cooler can keep it nice and cool. Of course, it's saying it's got RGB lights on the actual MSI logo here. I'll probably keep it white, but again, if you want to change that, you can, I guess it's saying here. I just noticed that the dragon teeth on the end of the card actually illuminates. So quite wondering if they actually can change the color of this. Hopefully you can. Quite intrigued now to see if you can change the color on that when I get it in the system. Of course, it's saying you can use their gaming app as well. You have a mobile version again to control the RGBs. You control the fan, of course, and different overclocking modes. But again, if you use an MSI product before, motherboard or graphics card, you're probably familiar with that. If not, then you can download that, and just the features and minimum specs. So pretty much your standard layout of most boxes on graphics cards. But let's open the box. You're probably all dying to see this beast unleashed. So of course it says play hard, stay silent. Twin Throzer is just advertising there. Like I said, I actually do hope this Twin Throzer 6 is pretty damn good. I've actually seen the Twin Throzer cooler itself evolve over the last 5 years, because I own quite a lot of MSI cards. Presented with a nice black box over here. Of course, it's got their gaming series logo in the middle, MSI, which is, I think, pretty much standard on most 1080s, to be honest. No matter what 1080 you buy, you will see the manufacturer's logo there. But again, it's nice to add that for a bit of prestige, I guess. I guess this is some kind of accessory box. What do we get inside? We get, wow, to be honest, not a lot indeed. What a waste of cardboard, but hey, what can we do? So first of all, we get a drivers and utility disc, which pretty much is completely useless because you need to download the latest version anyway. You get a MSI quick user's guide. So if you're actually a complete noob and you don't know how to install a graphics card, you could use that if you wish to. And you're presented with some stickers as well, which personally I don't like, but hey, somebody might like them, so there, if you want to use them, you never know, somebody might like them. And then of course, underneath the foam protective here, we have another card that says, thank you for choosing MSI product, but again, it's standard on all their products you buy. And then I think the last thing you're presented with is the card itself, I believe, yes. I gotta say, the first impressions, this card is pretty damn heavy compared to my old 970s. I gotta say, it's probably twice the weight, or maybe give or take. But anyway, let's actually get this out of the wrap it. But first of all, let's talk about a few specs. So for the boost clocks and base clocks of this card, it all depends if you use one of their modes in the gaming app, or of course overclock the card yourself, which is probably the best option. But if you go down the route of using one of their modes, then of course you've got 3 to choose from: overclock mode, game mode, or silent. Overclock mode being the fastest speed of 1847 boost, or of course silent mode being the slowest, but again still pretty damn good if you want the silent mode active. As for memory, of course, you get 8 GB of GDDR5X memory, so very fast memory there, running at 10,108 MHz in overclock mode. And I believe it's around about 10,000 in gaming and silent, so still pretty fast. Now when I first got this out, the actual protective sleeve, and I got to say the first impressions was how well built and solid this card feels. Just holding it here, it feels so sturdy and solid. I'm starting to really fall in love with it. I can't wait to get it in the system. But let's look at the overall design first. So of course we're presented with a red and black theme, which is pretty much standard on most MSI gaming products. That's what their colours they tend to choose. It does look very similar to the Twin Throzer 5, to be honest with you, if you've of course seen that card before. Of course it has 2 fans, much like the older version. but it seems to have more fan blades on this and a slightly different angle, so it should give you better cooling there. And I do believe the two fans actually have dual ball bearings now, so it should be smoother operation, quieter and last longer, so overall run a lot better, we all hope anyway. Looking at the front of the card, of course you've got an MSI logo here which lights up white. You can of course change this to any colour you wish, but again I probably stick with the white. We have 3 copper nickel heat pipes here. I believe they're around about 8mm thick, spread across that heatsink. You can just vaguely see there. We have 2 power connectors. Now the Founder Edition only has one 8-pin power connector. This card has an additional 6-pin power connector, so it should send more power to that GPU, of course memory, to get better overclocking and better savability. I hope that anyway, because I am going to try to overclock the shit out of this card and have some fun with it. On the top of the card itself, we have a nice black heat back plate, should I say. And I gotta say, it does feel like it's made out of metal, but at the same time, it does feel very flimsy. I gotta say, at first I thought it was plastic, but I'm pretty sure it is a very thin metal. It's got a nice MSI Dragon logo here, of course, which is pretty nice. It's stealthed in a bit, and of course MSI logo there. We've got 2 SLI fingers here, so of course you can support multi-cards in your system, but of course NVIDIA only allows 2 cards now on the 1080s for SLI. Of course supports their high bandwidth bridges as well if you wish to use it. Looking at the end of the card itself, you can see the heat sink there, should I say, and of course the heat pipes. You can see it has some kind of heat sinks as well on them chokes there, I guess, and resistors, and across onto the memory, so that's pretty good. The actual heat sink doesn't come to the end of the board though, to be honest with you, but it's not a bad thing, you don't want it really sticking out. On the back of the card again, we've got 3 more additional heat pipes here. These do feel like they're smaller than the fronts. I believe they are, yes, I'd say these are about 6mm copper nickel heat pipes, but again not too bad because it's still just distributing the heat directly from that core around that entire heatsink you can see there. Of course we have the interface connector, what you can see there, but again I cover it up, I don't want to get it damaged. And then on the back of the card you can see it has quite a lot of options. It has 3 display ports, so you can of course do surround gaming. It has HDMI port and of course a DVI-D port, so overall quite a lot to choose from there. But that's pretty much the overall look of the card itself. It does feel good. Actually just bring in an older 970 next to it, just so you guys can compare the Twin Frozer 6 cooler to the Twin Frozer 5. As you can see, it's a very similar design. The fins on the fan itself is of course more, and the cooler itself seems to be a bit wider. And of course these only have 2 heat pipes, as you can see, but of course it has 3 on the 1080. But there you go, that's pretty much the review. I gotta say, it looks pretty damn sweet. So there we go guys, that pretty much wraps up the unboxing and first look of the MSI GTX 1080 Gaming X. I'm really excited about getting this in my rig and just simply playing games on it. I can't wait to overclock it, can't wait to see what benchmarks it gets versus my 970s, and overall I just want it in my system. So I'm gonna end the video there. I'll bring them results soon. Feel free to drop a comment if you want to know anything about this graphics card. I'll try to answer the best I can. As always, slap a thumbs up, it's really appreciated. And I guess I'll catch you next time. See ya.